All right, so we got a new Angel Share clone in, and I'm really excited to kind of go over this fragrance and also compare it to some other Angel Share clones as well. This is going to be a fragrance that I've been looking for quite some time now. As soon as I saw that it existed, I was definitely looking for it, but it just hasn't been really available here in the United States until here recently. So when I saw that it was finally, at a shop that I actually trust, which was Joma's shop, I went ahead and picked it up, and it was actually at a very, very good price. I was able to pick it up for $29.99 for this 100 ml bottle. So I was really, really happy about that. And just to get straight to it, this fragrance is going to be Royal Blend from French Avenue. All right, so if you're not familiar, French Avenue is like a higher end sort of, higher tier line from Fragrance World. And they make really, really good inspirations of fragrances. So, definitely some to kind of note are, Divine Asylum, which is their take on Roja Elysium Parfum Cologne. You have Liquid Brune, which is their take on, PDM's Altair. Just really, really good, high quality, fragrances. And so this is going to be another one of those fragrances. So as you can see, man, the presentation on this is pretty top notch. The box is really big. It feels solid, feels really high quality. And as you can see, you get the Royal Blend plaque here on the front of the box. Down here you have the name Royal Blend as well. And these lines that you see here, they are sort of textured as well. You get the French Avenue logo on the top of the box. Nothing on the sides except for those textured lines. And then on the back, you have French Avenue Extrait de Parfum, the authenticity sticker, and then you have like the ingredients and stuff like that in the middle. On the bottom of the box, you have the barcode, the QR code, and then like the production date. This one was produced in June of this year, so it is a pretty fresh bottle. And this is basically like a sleeve that comes up, all right? And then you have the actual bottle, and then you have this sort of card here that actually gives you the notes of both fragrances that are actually in this line. So in this line of fragrances from French Avenue, you have this one, which is the Royal Blend. And then you have the Royal Blend Nero, which is basically, it's their take on Gisa Sava, all right? Which, if you're not familiar with what that fragrance is, that's actually the fragrance that Lattafa Camara is inspired by and not Angel Share. So this is a card here that kind of gives you, again, the notes of both fragrances, all right? So we'll be going over that in just a second. And in terms of the bottle is definitely, it's a very nice bottle. Definitely looks a lot like Angel Share in terms of the way it looks. This is just going to be a lot taller and slimmer than what Angel Share is. Angel Share is definitely going to be a much sort of shorter and fatter, more, both of them are kind of like cylinder shapes, but definitely the Angel Share is a lot more wider and fatter than what this one is, all right? So you get the Royal Blend plaque here on the front of the bottle. Up top, you're going to get the French Avenue logo, and then you get the French Avenue sticker down here at the bottom. All right, and then in terms of the sprayer is actually a pretty decent sprayer. It's not pressurized or anything like that, but it does shoot out a pretty decent amount of juice. So I really, really love the presentation on this for sure. All right, now, in terms of the note differences, there are definitely some differences in the notes. So for Angel Share, the notes on that are going to be top notes of cognac, and then in the mid you have cinnamon, tonka bean, oak, and hedione, and then in the base you have vanilla, praline, sandalwood, and candy almond, according to Fragrantica. Now for Royal Blend, you're going to have top notes of cognac, cinnamon, and plum. And in the mid, you have cashmere, and iris, and myrrh. And then in the base, you have tonka beans, vanille, and santal. So definitely some differences in the notes between Royal Blend and Angel Share, but this I can definitely say for sure, this smells pretty much identical almost to Angel Share. This is hands down, in my opinion, the best and the closest, Angel Share inspiration that I've smelled so far. All the other inspirations that I've smelled, they come close. I would say at least within 90+% of what Angel Share smells like. But the main difference, in my opinion, was the most other sort of inspirations of Angel Share, they don't get the opening exactly, they don't really get that down, in my opinion, the way that Angel Share comes across. And this is definitely the first fragrance that I can really say that it does replicate that opening pretty accurately. The opening of Angel Share is just really, really bright. It's really bright. It has kind of like this, slightly boozy sort of, sweet apple cinnamon type of opening. And I feel like the brightness just wasn't really there in most of the other clone or most of the other inspirations that I've actually smelled of Angel Share. All right. So that is, in my opinion, the biggest difference between something like this and, some of the other inspirations. For instance, Alexandria's Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. You have the inspiration from Zoha Aroma. Should have looked this one up before I did the video to remember what the full name of this is. I'll leave it on screen. But Zoha Aroma's version, in my opinion, is probably going to be the best, closest fragrance after this one. And then you have something like Borouj Silage, which this is definitely, in my opinion, more of sort of like a twist on the Angel Share, sort of DNA. This, right from the initial spray, you can definitely tell that this is something different. All right. But this is also still very good as well. In my opinion, though, the Royal Blend, this just, it smells, like I said, literally almost identical to what Angel Share smells like. And the other thing as well is the quality is there. It's right there with the By Kilian's Angel Share. This, to me, it doesn't come off as like being harsh at all when you first spray it on. So like even with something like the Alexandria Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, this one, for at least for the first few seconds or so, you do kind of need to let this one sort of settle down, and then you start to get, that sort of boozy apple cinnamon opening. But this one, like right away, just like the Angel Share, you can go right in and you can really smell that really bright, again, apple sort of, cognac and cinnamon sort of mixture that you get, with something like Angel Share. Now, I understand that Angel Share, it doesn't actually have like apple in the note breakdown, but that's what I get from this, is it does smell kind of like a apple cinnamon sort of, a boozy sort of apple cinnamon spice sort of fragrance, almost kind of like apple pie, I guess you could say. That's kind of how that fragrance comes off to me. But yeah, man, this one is, in my opinion, it's hands down the best. Now, the other thing to note here is, performance wise, this to me is actually, it's better than Angel Share. So when I say that it's better performance wise, I'm talking about projection as well as, the overall longevity as well. The Silage, in my opinion, is about the same as, what you get with Angel Share. So it is going to leave Silage of at least about, 3+ feet or so. But the projection on this, in my opinion, is definitely better than Angel Share. This pushes off of my skin a lot better than what Angel Share does. And Angel Share is not like a weak fragrance at all. So I mean, I want to make that clear. Angel Share definitely, in my opinion, it does project better than, you know, the Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, the Zoha Aroma, you know, interpretation that I have here. In my opinion, the Borouj Silage probably projects a little bit more than Angel Share. But, you know, again, the way that this one comes off, this one just is a slightly different type of fragrance, in my opinion. It's not exactly the same. But this one is, you know, smell wise, it's pretty much identical to Angel Share, but it is going to give you better projection, in my opinion. And then just in terms of like the overall longevity, this is also going to give you better longevity, at least from what I got from it. So when I first got this, I wore both fragrances that same day. And what I noticed was Angel Share, after probably about like around the 7 to 8 hour mark, was pretty much a skin scent on, you know, on my skin. Whereas this one was not a skin scent at that point. This one still had a pretty decent amount of strength, and this definitely lasted over 12 hours on my skin. And that was, you know, from the first day that I got the fragrance. So, I mean, obviously the bottle hadn't, you know, maturated or anything like that. So I can only imagine how much better this fragrance will get as it, you know, sits over time and maturates. Just like, you know, with all the other sort of, you know, French Avenue fragrances that I've gotten. That's definitely been something that I noticed with a lot of their fragrances, are especially fragrances that are like the batch that you get of that fragrance is maybe a month or at the most 2 months old or something like that when you get it, or maybe you got it in the same month. Normally over time, as you sort of spray the bottle and let it sit, it starts to get richer in smell, and it gets better longevity. So this one already, like I said, gave me over 12 hours just off of the first wear. And every other time that I've worn it since then, it has also given me 12 plus hours on my skin. So I'm very, very happy with, you know, how this fragrance performs for sure. And again, the quality of smell in this fragrance is right up there with Angel Share. So if I'm going to give this fragrance a closeness rating on a scale from 1 to 10, I would have to give this one easily like a 98% out of 100. This is extremely close to Angel Share. You know, I would say I don't really know if any other, you know, fragrance company will be able to get this close to it, especially considering the fact that French Avenue does use higher end, you know, quality oils than what a lot of other companies do. So they're going to be, you know, more higher end than what, you know, the baseline sort of fragrance world brand would do. They're going to be higher end than what something like Lattafa or Maison Alhambra would do, or Paris Corner. So this is going to be pretty top tier juice, and it smells like it for sure. Also, just an overall rating in terms of, you know, how I enjoy this fragrance. This is easily, like, I would say a 9.5 out of 10. You know, really, no, actually, I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. This is definitely a 10 out of 10. I think if you like the Angel Share scent profile as much as what I do, you are going to love this fragrance, because it almost smells like somebody took, you know, the Angel Share, somebody took the Angel Share juice and put it in this empty bottle pretty much and sold it for $30. That's basically what this fragrance smells like, other than the fact that, again, this is going to be a little bit stronger and better performing than what Angel Share is. So in my opinion, this definitely makes me not really want to go out and buy Angel Share. I was kind of thinking about it here recently, you know, because I really felt like with a lot of these other inspirations, they came close, but, you know, they didn't really get everything down exactly. So I was thinking about buying it because I have seen Angel Share go for like as little as like $120 for like a barely used bottle, and you know, a lot of like Facebook fragrance groups. So I was thinking about, you know, maybe, you know, purchasing a bottle like that, just a used bottle. But this one, man, for $30, and you're getting double the amount of juice and also better performance, I really don't see how you would, you know, go about spending all that extra money on Angel Share. So this one, man, this is definitely another one to get from the French Avenue line from Fragrance World for sure. All right. So that is my take on Royal Blend from French Avenue Fragrance World. Let me know if you all actually have this fragrance, and if so, how close do you think that this actually comes to the original? Do you agree with my assessment of this fragrance in terms of, you know, how close it comes to the original? All right, and if not, also let me know in the comments as well. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you on the next video.